right, guys, this is our 7 a.m. leadership call. Our 7 a.m. leadership call is reserved and designed specifically to make sure that we get in front of our entire sales offices, our entire sales team, to make sure that you guys got what you need, right? Obviously, in terms of training. So this is where we wake up early to make sure that we go over things that are vital and important for us to be successful. So obviously this week here, I want to make sure first and foremost that we shout out some of our new hires, our new agents. And I don't think any on the call, but obviously I want to shout out to Shaquana Monroe. Shaquana Monroe, wherever you are, when you watch this back, just know that we congratulated you and welcomed you here at the company. Also, we got to go over, I believe it's Ronald Jackson. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm. Let me make sure here, guys. Yeah, absolutely. Ronald Jackson, obviously doing very well. Last week made 2 sales as well. So congratulations, Ronald. You're not on this call, but when you watch this back on the playback, we don't have anybody with a birthday this week here coming up. But obviously, I just always like to make sure that we shout you out if you did. Now, without further ado, let's get right into the meat and potatoes of this call. Obviously, I want to go over this week here how to do a trouble ticket. One of the things that's been plaguing us from this week, well, actually from last week, is the fact that we had a lot of issues going on with Optix. I think you guys all would agree that we had issues going on with Optix last week. How many of you guys, just by show of hands or just inside the chat, had an issue with Optix when you was processing your order? Yeah, Tiffany, I see you. I see you. Absolutely. So with that being said, obviously I want to go over something that's definitely going to be able to help us. So, Verizon they don't always see the issue as fast as we're seeing the issue on our end. And when they see the issue on their end here, they're actually able to help us. But when they don't see it, then we're in trouble, right? Because again, it just looks like we're complaining or, hey, having issues, or maybe we just don't know how to work the tablet. But we want to take it a step further now. So what I want to go over with you guys is how to actually do a trouble ticket. A trouble ticket is how they're actually able to screen back on the screen that we actually having an issue on. Anthony Sharp, let me get you in here. All right, so if you guys give me seconds here, I'm gonna log in and then we're gonna go over this together. So if you guys got a tablet, feel free to grab it now so that we can go along with it. How many of you guys got your tablets? Drop it in the chat if you got your tablet. Let's see if we're ready to take these next steps here. Nobody got their tablet? Avis got hers. Nobody else got the tablet? All right. Well, let's get right into it, guys. All right, so obviously if I got Optix open, it'll look something similar to this right here. What I want to do first is I want to make sure I click on more. I want to click on where it says issues game. Let's allow it time to open up. All right, and then once it opens up, you'll see this screen, right? Just to go over a few. Ordering errors is probably what we're going to use most of all. Pricing mismatch is what we're going to probably one of the popular ones as well, because you know how sometimes it doesn't pop up with the pricing. We can check that to make sure that that is indeed correct, right? To see if that was an issue on their end or if it's just something new. Our internet is slow. CVS safeguarding, right? A little less unpopular, but it could be. Unable to retrieve account could be, right? Usually we're able to finesse and finagle that, and then smart leads It's all here, okay? But a lot of times we're gonna be using ordering errors, okay? One of the first things we wanna do is just go ahead and click on ordering error. We wanna put the customer's billing telephone number, right? It's a number where they can reach the customer, obviously, also to help them pull back up the order. Cool, and again there, I would type in something to the effect of, all right, so just a phone number there. And then obviously if I had the MON number, I can always copy and paste it there because I would be able to go back. Because remember, whatever screen you got stuck on or whatever screen anything happened on, you're gonna go up here to the top where it says more, right? And it's gonna automatically do a screenshot for us. That's what this is right here, where it says attach files to illustrate the problem here. It already took that screenshot. Like if I click on it right now, it'll show me the last screen that I was on. And what this does is this allows them to be able to see exactly what the issue is and where the error occurred. And then obviously we can detail the problems here. When we detail the problems, I mean, we just want to be as descriptive as possible and just say, hey, unable to send life on files link to customer, tried 3 times. Something simple, but descriptive as possible, obviously, right? And then at this point, I just hit create. Okay, I'm not gonna actually put this in because this is not an actual real trouble ticket, or maybe I will, only because I want you guys to be able to see what the trouble ticket looks like after this, once it's submitted. So I'm gonna go ahead and submit. Not for nothing, but each and every time I've done this, it's taken a little while, so please be patient with it when it gets to be these spinning balls like this. All right, and then what we come up with is the issue report. Obviously, this allows us here. All right, now this is the number here that you would text over to your general manager to let them know that you got a trouble ticket put in. Right. It even gives a date on when this issue will be fixed, but obviously we know that that's a blanket issue because I didn't even really have an issue. Right, that's like a blanket date. Right. Any questions on this, gang? Any questions on this, gang? Antoinetta, let me get you here. Okay, just so we're all aware, right? Can anyone tell me when we would put in a trouble ticket? Man, it sounds like you're in outer space.
She on twice. So she could be on her tab and she could be on her phone, it looks like.
Oh, okay. She didn't want to miss it so bad that she joined twice. Great job. Great job. All right, so Tip, if you can, try to talk now. Let's see if we can hear you.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
I was gonna say, when you can't send the link,
Right. Anytime you have any type of issue, let's just say, right, the pricing is not coming up. Let's just say, you try to send out the link, you don't get it. Like that's what we've been running into the most for the most part, right? Obviously, you just want to make sure you put in a trouble ticket. It's going to capture it. So good job there. Great answer. All right, guys. So now that we know how to do trouble tickets, let's just make sure that going forward, obviously we know how to help ourselves. That's what's important here, right? That we know how to help ourselves. Well, more importantly, right, that we know how to help Verizon help us. Okay, so with that being said, let's move forward. I also want to go over, right? I want to go over the details of this trip, right? How many of you guys are excited about the trip to Miami? It's truly any man or any woman's game now at this point, right? The power is in your hand, the opportunity is there, right? Who can tell me the details of what you need to do to win this amazing opportunity?
Yeah, 84 sales.
84 sales. How many, does that sound like a lot of sales?
It sounds like a lot, but it's not once you break it down into weeks.
I know that's right. Absolutely. So obviously, guys, we got 7 weeks before this trip. We got 7 weeks, a total of 7 weeks. Inside of that 7 weeks, when you break down that 84, that's nothing more than 24 sales, right? But obviously here, we're looking for installs, okay? So what does that mean? You want to set your sights more like closer to 15 per week. How easy is 15 per week? Obviously, very doable. We have many agents that do that already right now, right? Without the incentive. My goal now is to make sure that it's any man's game, because what else do you have to do? It's not just about sales. What else is it about?
You have to have your camera on in all meetings.
And guess what? I get a chance to see you guys. I get a chance to see you guys. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel so much better talking to you, not just to your screen. I get this warm and fuzzy feeling in the inside. It's great. What else?
You gotta have a recruiter that do at least 5 sales.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Within the next 12 weeks. Within the next 12 weeks. I mean, within the next 7 weeks. Right? So with that being said, right, don't forget you get recruiters credit for that as well. The goal is to make sure, right, that I'm looking at the right person, somebody that not only earned this opportunity, but somebody that also, you know, is earning their next leadership seat inside of this company. We're a company about growth, all about making sure that we give opportunity. And in order to do that, we have to uphold standards. So I'm super excited about this. I look forward to seeing and meeting with somebody, right? Somebody coming with us to Miami just to encounter joy and fruits of their labor, but to also train, right? So with that being said, any questions there? By the way, is that only virtual or is that in office meetings as well?
In offices.
Both.
Of course, that's in office as well, right? Obviously, if I was you, I would beat my OM and GM to the office. I would. I'd be waiting on them, calling them like, yo, what y'all doing? Why y'all late? I'm telling you, it will work, right? Because when they see that type of conviction, what are they gonna do? They're gonna have to respect you. You have your general manager calling you like, hey, listen, I'm running late, but I'm gonna be right there, okay? They calling you to tell you like what they got going. Like, yo, listen, I know you know I'm here, right? All right, cool. As long as you know I'm here. Reverse the tables a little bit, right? See how it feels. I'm telling you, it feels great. Now, with that being said, I like to open up the call now at this point. So now this is the point of the call where we always have some fun. We always learn a lot from open forum. So obviously I want to open it up here. Who has any questions, anything that they want to go over? Drop it in the chat or you can come off mute. When do it start? It started already. It started from Sunday. It started from Sunday. These next 7 weeks. Yeah, absolutely. This week right here is in full effect. Talk to me, guys. What else? What other questions do you have? I love it because it doesn't sound like we have any questions, but what I want to do is I want to make sure I call out a few people here.
Crystal brought up a comment.
Let's get it. So the issues with technicians, just checking. So I got issues with technicians. Tell me what's the issues with technicians?
So I know you said that we can't, we can't just be listening to the customers or whatever, right? So I didn't just listen to them. I went over there myself. And a lot of them were saying that they wasn't getting connected. And if the people come, that the technician wasn't hooking them up for ACP purposes, which I couldn't understand that, because I'm like, what they got to do with ACP? So when she told me that, I went over there. When I went over there, she called the tech because the tech gave her the number, and she was actually telling the truth. He didn't hook her up because she told him she couldn't find her ACP code, and he told her that he wasn't going to hook her up until she found it. And I don't think they need to be doing this, but it happened twice in the same building. So what can we do as far as that goes? And I end up speaking to a Verizon agent because one of my disconnects was getting back installed, and they told her she couldn't get installed until she paid a bill, even if she had ACP, and they've never done that before.
Okay, let's deal with the first issue, right? Customer's gonna have to call up to Verizon and ask them about their installation, about why this and just complain.
Okay.
Right? Because they shouldn't be dealing with anything ACP. They're there to do a job of installation.
That's what I said. But I wanted to be sure that's what it was before I said anything. And that's what it was. But they did give her a date for tomorrow. So she will be set up tomorrow. Now, the other person was, she was set up before, and she never applied her ACP, and she was disconnected. So we reconnected her, and she got her date and everything, and that's what's coming up as HSFW, I think it is, when it say misinstalls. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
The 4-digit letter when they come up on misinstalls. It'll tell us that somebody have misinstalls, either have 4 letters back. It means something, I think, like files, working files or something.
Where do you see that?
I usually see pending. Pending
When
is,
you send us the misinstalls.
Yeah, that's internal stuff there.
Right. So it means like that they already have it. So when I spoke to the agent on Monday, she said that it takes 40 days. So say like a customer didn't put their ACP in and they get disconnected, but then they realize that they got a bill and then they want to use their ACP. They have to wait 40 days to get total disconnected, so it won't come up saying existing services. So anything after 40 days, you won't see existing services no more. Because at first it was allowing you to go through and using your ACP, and them telling you, well, you still responsible for the bill, but because you got ACP, we'll waive it. Now they're saying it's 40 days, and it's not supposed to be up there saying existing service. That's why sometimes you get a pink screen sometimes, or sometimes they let you through. But then when you get a missed install, that's why, because it's already said they got service.
So we're dealing with a client that already got signed up, didn't pay their bill because they never got their ACP applied. They got to wait 40 days.
Correct.
Or you can re-sign them back up.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Yeah, absolutely. I forget how long it is, but it is in a situation where we can just re-sign them back up right away. Obviously, they're active service already. And then Verizon disconnects people in steps. It isn't like they don't pay their bill and then they're disconnected, then you can go re-sign them right back up. You know, they're disconnected, but yet they have an opportunity to pay their bill before they actually cleared out the system. So there's steps to it. So yes, you're right. What was the question there?
The question was basically telling you that it ain't one even really a question, just letting you know that the customers is not just, well, for me, my customers wasn't just saying anything about the technicians, that the technicians are doing a lot. Then I got another mist installed, and I can just show you the thread, and she sent me the picture. One of the techs locked his keys in the truck and never installed her. So I asked her, well, did he give her a new date? She said no, he told her she got to reschedule. And she just telling me this yesterday, that he did never reschedule her because she thought he was coming back off the next day, and he never did.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously, it just, you want to call into the call center, you want to check to make sure that you got a date rescheduled, right? And then follow back up with her. You can even have her call you when the technician is there. These are very weird scenarios, right? Technician locked his keys inside the car. You can call into the call center, obviously, and check the notes on the account, see what comes up with, but more importantly, make sure that this is rescheduled so that we can get this handled for the client. But good feedback. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, how y'all doing? I got some. Remember when we used to send a number to the direct number to the HCP department? Well, I have a number that one of the Verizon agent gave to one of my clients. I don't know if I can, that will be, because a lot of problems that I've been having with my clients is they've been fighting Verizon agents, or these people were trying to re-sign them up. And I don't understand. I'm trying to get this, but the finally guy told me that they would be doing it, but he gave the man a direct number. He said, "Just call this number."
Yeah, Anthony, it's getting really difficult to hear you. We're trying, but it's breaking up.
Yeah, my phone, the picture, everything. I just was able to get my picture on here now. So I'm trying to get I just brought a phone, so I'm trying to get that number plugged up to the Telegram.
All right.
I probably can switch it if it can be done right now.
All right. It sounds like Talia can help you with that. Obviously, just make a new Telegram and then you inbox Talia on Telegram, obviously, and she'll be able to get you back in the meeting.
All right. All right.
You can go ahead and do that now. Knock that out. All right. But what was your question, King? Didn't you have a question? No? All right, all right. All right, guys. Let me ask you guys. Anybody got any questions? Anything else? Anything else?
I was thinking about the installs, the install and what is it? I had it in my notes. And how to do the incentive. The red part, how to do the incentive. And the self-install. I wanted to be clear about the self-installs. I don't want to just hear. I want to know exactly. Like, I know y'all said it's a benefit in it, and they want us to do that. So should I recommend that? And then yeah. Is anybody having any clients having any difficulty with the self-install? I actually have somebody that's living next to me. Before I could get to them, they got the self-install, and they ended up having to have the tech come out.
Yeah. All right. So I guess dealing with your first question, right? And then you can let me know what your second, and I believe you got a third, right? Self-install is what we'll deal with first. First and foremost, um, there are pros and cons to the self-install. Let me just say that, but way more pros than there are cons, right? I'll go over the con first. The con first is the fact that they may not get their equipment, right? Second con is maybe they don't know how to install it. Okay. Now, the pros are the fact of the matter is that they're going to receive their equipment faster than any truck can roll out to them. Right. Sometimes on a self-install, they can have the equipment the next day, or better yet, they can go pick it up the same day that they actually speak with you, Eugene. Literally, they speak to you, they can head down to a local Verizon office and pick up their equipment. They can be installed that same day. All right. Another pro is the fact that it gets you paid faster. Another pro is that let's just say they can't install that same day when they pick up that equipment. There's a number inside of the box they call, technician has the role. I've heard instances inside of other markets, right? Not inside of Philadelphia, whereas they came out the same day that they picked up their stuff that they couldn't get it installed. Meaning, so they actually got a truck the same day to come out because that's a priority. Now at this point, they got a customer who can't get installed. What do Verizon want? They want that customer installed. They want to be able to build that customer. They can't build that customer until it's active. So obviously a truck will roll, whatever truck they got in the area, they'll make a quick stop by just to install it since it's already there. Okay, so that's self-install, and that's why we like to make sure that we utilize it anytime that we see it. Now, it's not available for everybody. It would only be available for clients who have had us previously before that still has their equipment intact. Okay. And for those customers here, those are the ones that we're looking forward to service. So when you see it, yeah, go ahead and click on self-install. Don't hold any reservations mentally about it. All right.
Quincy, his question was asking, I guess, how to do it in the rep card.
Okay. And now let's deal with that portion of it as well. I believe that was the second part of it. Rep card is, do you have rep card downloaded on your phone?
I think I do. Yes, I have it.
All right, cool in the game. So if you got rep card downloaded on your phone, this goes for everybody, right? Can I see the screen? Hold it up for us.
You want me to show you the photo?
Yeah, I mean, but absolutely. Open up the screen. So that's the rep card app on my phone, guys.
Mm-hmm.
See it? I'm gonna click on it. It opens up here. Now, if you want to be able to keep in contact with your clients, right, or be able to service them better, you can click on contacts. You see contacts at the bottom? Then I have my contacts here. Okay. I can switch that from signed. You see where it says green signed up, right? Because that was a customer that started off as a referral. And then obviously, once he signed, you click him over to signed. So that I know, right? If I just want him a part of my network, then he's just a part of my network, right? Because I love to recruit with this thing as well. Okay. So let's just say I click on the first one, Lawrence Williams. Now, when I click on him here, I got his information. It even will tell me where I was standing when when I literally sent this customer my information. So that's what that is, where there's an address there. You see that address, that 3214 Detroit Avenue B, Richmond, Virginia, right? That gives a location on where we were when I sent it to him, which is crazy. All right, so you got a lot of information. But to answer your question, you want to schedule a text. You see where it says schedule a text? When I click on it here, I can type in the message. Hey, don't forget to apply your ACP. Remember, you are getting installed today. Okay, so now I got the message here. It's already typed up. I can click done there, and then I can choose any time within the next 15 minutes to send this out to my client. Obviously, this is something that you would do on the day that you actually set up your client. So before you go to sleep at night, you literally do this, you set this up, right? And you, whatever their installation date is. So like a lot of you guys on this call right now, you guys got installs today that you should be aware of. Now is a good time right now to go inside of your Optix, download it, see what installation dates you got available for today, and then go ahead and set that up to go out at 8 a.m. this morning. Literally, put it at 8 a.m. And then I click add. And now it's there. All right, so I'm working now for later. Any questions there? All right, and now I'm going to delete that because I don't actually want that text message going out to Lawrence. And then I can just press delete. Are you sure you want to delete this? Yes. And then that's done. What else, guys? What other questions? And by the way, did we answer all your questions, Eugene?
No, I believe I said something about is anybody having problems with the customers with the install? Oh yeah, and about the how do you set up the not how you set it up about the incentive? How do you what's the steps for the incentive? Like how do you set up the incentive for the customer? Like I think it's if they get you somebody, you pay them through the app or through the card.
Oh, okay. Absolutely. Great question. So, yes, there's a feature inside of here where you can literally pay them through, and not for nothing, but you can add attachments too. You can actually add photos inside of here, which is really cool. And then let me delete that. Okay, cool. So you have a feature in here that allows you to go in context. Okay, so let's go back. If I'm on the home screen here, I can go to contacts. Okay. Then once I'm in contacts, you see these three dots next to it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm going to click on that. At the bottom there, it says Amazon Pay. And click on that. You can tie your Amazon account and take it right there. And in this way, you can get them a gift card, Amazon gift card, so that they can spend money on Amazon. Everybody loves spending money on Amazon. It's just as good as cash. Right?
So,
It is.
so I have an Amazon account. Excuse me.
Yeah, you set up the Amazon account.
Okay.
You set up the Amazon account. Or you can utilize any way that you want to. You know, you can use Cash App if you want to. You can use whatever you want to. Whatever it is, just make sure that whatever you're promising, you deliver on. You don't want to be capped. All right. And then Eugene also asks, is anybody else having any problems, guys, with self-installs?
The last self-install I did, I just had an issue with the customer not being able to pick up their equipment. But they said they couldn't find the order number. I looked for the order on the tablet, and for some reason it said the order didn't exist. So I just redid it, and they were able to go pick up their equipment. The second time I did self-install, the customer she had issues because even though her house was available for self-install, whoever had Verizon there was like a diehard Verizon customer. So literally all the hookups in the back were to Verizon or something like that. And they just, some things had to be taken out, some things had to be plugged in. But like Quincy said, they had a number in the box that she called, and they were able to come out to her the next day. When she called that number, she got somebody on the line almost automatically. She didn't have to wait hold time or anything like that. And they sent someone out to her the next day to fix whatever issue she was going through.
Great job. And I've had that issue as well. When they go pick up the equipment, you got to make sure that they got that order number on hand, right? And then they're usually able to look it up via that order number and get that right out. Good feedback.
You also might want to let your customer know too, because I have to deal with that, and I lost my customer when he went to go get his install. This is you helped me with this, Quincy, and we couldn't find why I wasn't getting paid for Mr. Jackson. And when he went to get his self installed, they told him that they couldn't find his order number. And when he kept calling, of course, what they did later was recreated him an order number, gave him an order number when he was there. And when I was waiting to get installed, because he was like, I did it, I got everything done, I was wondering why I wasn't paid. That's because Verizon agent had redid him a whole nother order. So he had a whole nother order number. So that was why I didn't get paid for it. Because they recreated him another order when they told him they couldn't find his order number. And they was like, oh, I can help you. But he didn't know that it was going to get taken away from me. So I didn't get paid for the sale. But he did get connected. And they doing that a lot, saying I can help you. I've been on the phone with my customers. I don't see it. No problem. I can help you. I put the order in. Now your order becomes their order, and you're not gonna get paid for it. So the order number you had is not gonna show up.
Yeah.
Yes, they did, Maria, a couple of times.
Yeah, let me let you guys understand something, right? As long as we got an order number, they can't steal anything. Now, if the client has any discrepancies with their order, they want an additional box for their TV, wanted the gig speed and you gave them the 300. If they want the 300 and you gave them the gig. If they want antivirus on their account and they say to the agent, well, yeah, I do want the antivirus. Okay, great, I can help you with that. Because then at that point, they have authority to modify the order. And then that's where they get slick and get away.
Mm-hmm.
But we are door to door. We are on top of things like this, meaning we set our client up. We post it inside of a text group to make sure that we have the information stored. Again, like besides it being stored locally, right? And then of course, obviously we're supposed to be following up with our clients to make sure that they got installed. If the client is being straight up with us and they don't have anything to modify on the order, then there's no way that they just can't, they say they can't see an order that we obviously can log into. We have the same system that they have, Optix. It's one system, there's not two systems. It's not a back door to use. If you can log in and you can see it, they can log in and see it. Any questions on that, gang?
Well, I did see it on the computer. And when we called, she didn't know I was on the phone. I just stayed on the phone. And this is with another customer. I just stayed on the phone. When she said she couldn't see it, and I think at this point, Mathali was on the phone too. She said that she didn't see the order, but she can recreate another order. And I'm like, it's right here, like literally right here, like we just did it. I'm giving you the order number. We just did it. So I don't know how she said she couldn't see it, but she was so stuck on oh, I can do it for you. And then that's when the customer was like, no, I already have an agent working with me. And that's when she was like, oh, okay. And and we end up hanging her up and calling back. But when the next agent got on the phone, they saw what apparently she couldn't see. Or she said she couldn't see it, but she was so adamant about putting this order in. So they do get slick if you don't be on it. And the customers don't know the difference because they be thinking that we work together.
Well, so let me just make sure that I'm clear. The order wasn't placed yet. The order had to go to CVC, and you were dealing with CVC. They said they couldn't see the order.
Correct.
Okay, that's different. The order wasn't placed yet. The order is just over at CVC.
The order was placed, right? The order was put in, but you know how like the screen froze up, and I used the old order number to let them know why, because it asked you a question. It only went to CVC because it was multiple orders. So that's why CVC was called. And they want to know why was it another order. So I gave them the other order number that froze up to let them know that it froze up. It wasn't trying to just keep doing orders. It's not fraud. It just, the computer froze up. And all of a sudden, she couldn't see nothing.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. When there's multiple orders, they can clear one order and then the other orders are not clear. So what they try to do is they try to look back and find the one that was already cleared. And if they can't find it, then obviously they'll say, hey, listen, you know what? They'll ask the customer another series of questions and they'll just clear whatever ones is left. Now, obviously, right, they should always be able to find our order. If they cannot, you hang up and then you just call back. Never forget, guys, that you're going to have a healthy form of negligence and all with everybody. Not everybody's responsible. Not everybody comes to work to do their job. Some people come to work just to get a paycheck. And then obviously they don't see it, right? But all you got to do is simply say, hey, listen, here is it. Can you repeat that number back to me just for accuracy? Want to make sure that you got it good? Good, okay, you don't see it? All right, then at that point you can hang up, right? But once they have that number, that order number there, right? And by the way, you're still in control at that point. You're still in control. You're never out of control. So if the client says, hey, because at this point here, you got them on, if the CVC girl says, I do not see it, okay, repeat it back to me. Good, yep, that's actually correct. Okay, you don't see it, hang up, get a new CVC, right? And you do this politely. You don't do this with any malice in your heart, obviously. Whatever's going on, it's okay. I need for you to find this order. This is a CVC order. I can't process my order until you release it, so I need it done.
All right. I just got a situation yesterday. I jumped on CVC to run my fifth order. And it was good to go. It just more so she needed the deposit. And it's I don't know if she Cambodian or what, man, but she was just mad disrespectful from the rip. Like the customer was sitting there listening to it on the speakerphone, because I had it on speaker. I just thought it would go normal. Give her my account number and let her know that it's an ACP customer for deposit. And she was just checking me for all and telling me like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, I just need the she followed my program, I just need the deposit release. She said, oh well, I can't release the deposit. Just gave me a whole bunch of feedback and just was just saying a bunch of random stuff. And the customer was like, oh man, she's ignorant. And then the lady just straight hung up. Well, she told me to hit the release button. But I hit the release button, when I hit the release button and close, it still said 125. But then she never said that she released the order. She said, just go ahead and hit it because it's already something like that. I'm like, what? Like, I've been doing this too long. I know what you're saying don't even sound right, but I hit it. And then it still showed the 125 deposit. So now she ended up saying something smart again, and I'm like, man, I'm not trying to do this with you.
real simple to how we process these orders. And she just straight hung up on me. So when I went to the next person said that they hit the release button, but I didn't have a release button to hit no more because it had disappeared from when I hit it the first time. So I had to do the whole order over, and the lady got impatient. So, and it's like, all because that lady telling me something about the deposit couldn't be released, and then that I would have to hit the release button. I'm like, they try to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about and stuff, but I lost the whole order just on the strength of that, man. She sounded like she Cambodian or something, man.
Man.
But
Right.
I ain't lose it. I got the lady number, and I'm gonna call her today. We're gonna start over. But it's just the fact that I could have lost it, man. Just on the strength of that, like.
So, I mean, you do this a lot, right? Right.
Right.
Obviously, the client has a low credit score. I mean, well, a high credit score, right? And then
But
we
her
got
joint was in a medium.
okay, so that's even better, right? Obviously, we're not looking at any drastic issue, right? So when you call in and you give them the information, they ask a series of questions, which we all know, like the back of our hand, right? What went wrong? What happened here? What was different? I mean,
I don't know. It went sideways with just the deposit conversation. I'm like, for one, she didn't ask for the ACP number after I told her it was an ACP customer, I believe, for deposit after I ran the account number to her. And she like, oh, well, yeah, it's a deposit on it. I'm like, all right, do you want the ACP number? And she like, no, it's a hold on the deposit. I'm like, I know, because I just ran the order. I'm like, is there another order that was placed before me? She said no. I'm sitting there like, all right, don't I got to give you the ACP number so you can release the order from the deposit? She say no, just go ahead and hit the release. But I'm like, that's not how. I thought I was supposed to give you the ACP number. So because she was so content with just keep telling me to do that, I just went on and did it instead of just hanging up and trying to call somebody else or something. And then like I said, it wouldn't allow me to hit that button the second time when I had to make the call again, right before CBC had closed. And the lady jumped right on, polite, everything went normal, like normal days. She hit the release, but I couldn't hit the release. Only thing I could hit was the close just to get to the next page, but it still showed the 125 on there. So.
how many of you guys have dealt with this before?
I have.
I was just going to type him what to do.
Same day, same thing. Every once in a while, you'll get exactly like he said. You'll get that'll be very, very not just ignorant. How this agent and the customer was. I say, but this customer is ignorant herself, so it's hard dealing with her. And the Verizon agent kept telling her, "Take me off speaker." He wasn't the lady kept saying that. Then the lady hung up on her. We called back and kept getting the same lady. And then she just made it really hard. She made it really hard. Like I could have lost that. It took 3 days to get this person. But yeah, the Verizon agents sometimes they don't make it any easier. And I mean, it ain't supposed to be easy. They ain't supposed to make it easy, but they could be more helpful. I wanted to know, is it a way that we can report them?
Yeah, good question. Let me before we get into that, right? Taisha said she has. Who has anything to help when this happened? Who knows how to help this issue?
Stay calm, patient, and hang up the phone and get somebody else.
Or
Yeah.
I use off the bat. I know what has helped me throughout the time is I get to know the person's name and I keep using their name. Like say Quincy was my person that I'm calling for CBC. Hey, Mr. Quincy, how was your day today? You had a good weekend? And they'll open up more because they sometimes they don't feel like they don't want to be treated as like just that. They want to be treated as a person, which they are. So I'll try to get to know them. Hey, Mary, how was your weekend? So where you from? And they're like, oh, I'm from West Virginia. Oh, I heard it gets a lot of whatever. So I actually start a built-in conversation with them so they can feel more alive. Because sometimes we're calling, the other people are calling, and they're like, they feel like they're having a bad day. And I just try to provide some sunshine on the phone, and it actually helps me get the thing over quicker. And then they're willing to be like, oh, so let me stay on the phone with you until you refresh the screen, and then it gets to the next screen. And they'll offer that a lot of times more than I'll say, hold on, let me make it through. They'll be like, hey, so let me make sure it goes through. And then, after it goes through, okay, Miss Mary, have a great day. I hope you enjoy going to the beach this weekend. I've known a lot of people that's going on vacation like the next week because I have a built-in conversation with them. It makes everything easier and faster.
Yeah, I agree with what Wallace said. I also do the same. Like I always make sure I say their name when they tell me who they are. And then I just be polite because I know they probably work long shifts behind the phone. It gets annoying. It gets hectic over the phone. So I try not to hold any attitude or anything against them. And I'm patient. I don't press refresh until they tell me, okay, it's all set. They already released the order because I've been to the
No. Anthony, please put your phone on mute, man. All
So
right.
yeah.
Sorry about that. Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, I've been through the same, like when I just press refresh without them actually releasing the order, and you're gonna lose that button if you refresh it like 3 times. And once you do, you're gonna have to restart the order over. So if I know that, I make sure I don't press refresh until it's the end of the call and they're like, all right, you can press refresh and I've released the order. I make sure I save that. I don't press it, I stay patient. And if they're not taking care of what I need, if they're making it difficult, I just say, all right, I just hang up the phone. Like, don't be rude about it. Just act like you just lost connection or you just lost them. That happens. And you call somebody else. You call the number, you get someone else. You don't have to stay through and argue with them over the phone or make it even more difficult for you and for the customer. So that's what I do.
Yeah, never do that. But all great feedback, guys. Absolutely stay calm. Absolutely be patient. Absolutely get their name and use it. Absolutely use icebreakers. You want to kill them with kindness. Inside of this business, one last thing that I've noticed that always helped me with the call center, because again, we've always used the call center. The call center is before the actual tablets and the actual iPads. Okay, we always had to deal with call centers. So I've grown accustomed now to making sure that when I'm speaking with them, that I allow them to do their job. Sometimes as direct sales agents, we get anxious. We see our money, we can touch it, taste it, feel it. We want it now. We know that we haven't made any money until we actually got this thing done, this order done, and then let's look at our customer, right? Our customer is rushing us, impatient. We possibly didn't close the sale properly. So the client's like, I'm talking about literally saying it to our face. Listen, I gotta go. You gotta hurry up. Why is this taking so long? Right? No, I can't do this. No, I thought this was gonna take only 5 minutes. You said 5 minutes ago that this was gonna be, no, I can't do this, right? And then that right there was very aggravating. Who do you pass that on to? Whoever you're on the phone with. And that could be Thorley at the time. It ain't even got to the CVC yet. Now you just pitched that, the call center, right? Or now when you get on the phone with CVC, it's really aggravating because now you got to get with somebody else, right? And before you know it, you're telling that person what to do and how to do their job. And that gets annoying. People are going to become short with you quick because they know what you need. And again, it's always what's in it for me. It's never what's in it for you. Right? If you're trying to sell somebody behind what's in it for me, meaning like what's in it for you, oh man, you're going to lose. You always need to talk about what's in it for them so that they get the point. So when you get on the phone with them, hey, let's go through this, right? Real quick. Hey, how you doing? I got a customer. I got a customer. I got a customer that I got a customer that needs verification. Can you help me with this? Yeah, yeah, sure, absolutely. Do you have the credit, the CVC number or the MON number or the whatever number, right? Yes, absolutely. You don't have to give them the zeros, right? You give them the 1, 2, 3, whatever the number is. I'm letting them do their job. I'm not gonna tell them, yeah, absolutely. And then I got the ACP number ready for you too. That's me. That's me trying to rush them. You see how simple that is, right? For me to feel rushed now if I'm on that phone. Now, by the way, they're getting $10, $15 an hour. That's how that's what they opted in for. We're not getting paid by the hour. We don't get paid till we get a sale. So we're already at odds. We already can become enemies quick here. I need you to move quicker. You need to move slower. You know, you want to stay on the clock, right? So I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, but obviously you just want to make sure, right? There's a final thing that don't be so anxious. Allow them to do their job. They will do their job. They will, but probably just not like we would like it to be. But hey, give them that number. They're gonna say, okay, great. The client actually has a deposit. Now, in the back of our mind, we already know that the client got a deposit, right? We called to get this thing waived. We already went through, we got the ACP, we called to get this thing waived, but they gotta go through the steps and allow them to, so that you can get on to the next level. But I know how it is, absolutely. Client then told you they ready to go and you slow. I'd be pissed too. What else, guys?
The worst feeling in the world is seeing the finish line and don't get finished.
I can't tell you.
you be 3 buttons away from freedom, and then there's somebody come snatch you and be like, nah, you like, oh, but, and then you start like, in your head you start panicking, but you try to show on your face that you all right, you could call me back, but really you just want to just go off, and you like in your head, you got to keep it in your head. So you got a split screen window, and we all trying to hustle in that window. But man, you could see that tape, and then somehow you get an ankle injury, right? And you can't make it to the tape.
I'm only laughing, guys, because I can tell you, man, thousands of customers. I had to study sales so that that wouldn't happen to me anymore. That's where I learned to make sure that I close my customer, to make sure that I develop what I call an attitude of indifference. Client tell me, can I hurry up? I let them know right away with a smile on my face. No, we have to do this process. Simple as that. No, we have to do this process. Right? And then at that point they know, hey, we're serious. But it's in the little accommodations that you do, the little things. Like, yeah, can we hurry up? Yeah, sure. Well, you just told me you're gonna hurry up, right? Yeah, absolutely. I told you hurry up. But you're not making good on that promise, right? But when it comes down to making sure that they're done right and they're processed right, you got to make sure that you take time, much like a doctor, much like a lawyer would. Again, obviously, we got to do this right. This is something that you're going to have to wear. This is something that you're going to be inside your home. This is something that's going to be important to you, right? Let's make sure that we take care of this. All right. And then make sure that we tie down our client. Guys, this is exactly why these calls are so vital and important, right? It's the little nuances, right, that you guys are going through out there in the field. Sometimes you just need to blow off steam, right? Sometimes you just need to get this call to blow off steam. Sometimes you guys, by the way, Legend saying great morning to you guys, right? Sometimes you guys, if you guys not blowing off steam, then you actually need to know how to handle these things. Okay. And in order to handle these things, let's just make sure, right, that we're handling them with professionalism. Bring it to this call here so that we can all kind of go through it with you, right? We promise to give you some success tips that's going to help you become more successful. With that being said, guys, let's kick ass this week. Obviously, hopefully everybody had an amazing, happy 4th yesterday, right? Did some fireworks, got with the family, ate great, Now it's time to kick ass and take names. The ones who were on this call that actually had their cameras on, obviously, right, were Tiger, Anthony, Sharp, Eugene, Avis, Mathali, Reggie, Dudley, Mommy. Justin had his camera on. I'm telling you. I see you with the Slauson shirt on. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, guys. Cool in the game. Guys, let's kick ass and take names. I will see you guys soon. Let's get it. Let's get it. Later.